Hi, I'm Phil Upchurch, back to tell you more about the Upchurches. This time let's talk more about the Upchurches in the Colonial period. That would be from the time the English settled America, starting in 1607 in Jamestown, up until the time of the Revolutionary War. I have a chart here which shows you the Upchurches for that period of time. We've seen this in previous videos, starting with Michael Upchurch, who came to Surry County, Virginia in 1638, and going through the next 5 generations, taking us down to Upchurches about the time of the Revolution. These are clan heads here. There are 22 of them, and I hope you're learning about which clan you belong to. But let's think for a little bit about how these people moved about during the colonial period. And surely you will want to know what your ancestor was doing during this period. Now let's look to the other side of this chart, where I have some of the counties of Virginia highlighted. I've mentioned now Surry County, Virginia. This is where Michael arrived in about 1638. And he died there in 1681, so he never left Surry County, Virginia. Now, of course, in that time, Surry County was probably a larger county, and only later were these various counties split out. But these are the counties as they are shown today on the map. There would have been some of the Upchurches that would have slipped over at one time into this nearby county of Isle of Wight. You notice a lot of people will say Isle of Wight, but it's W-I-G-H-T, White. Now, we have a fair number of records for Michael Upchurch in particular, and some for his children, his grandchildren, and his wife here in Surry County, Virginia. But mostly the family tended, in the years to come, to move over into the south and west part of Virginia. There was one example of one of these early Upchurches for a short time living north of the James River, which you see here. The James River was a very productive area, and even in recent days I've read in my farm magazines how productive the James River Valley is. But of course, as productive as it was, it couldn't accommodate all of the people that kept coming to America in the 1600s. So the people were inclined to move south and west for better land. And I've indicated the various counties they might have passed through. There's Prince George County, Dinwiddie County, Sussex County, and Southampton County. In fact, some of these early Upchurches did go through Southampton County, and we even named a branch of the family the Southampton branch. But by and large, they found themselves moving south and west to Brunswick County, Virginia, which I've highlighted here. If you study this general area of history in this general time, you will run across the term South Side Virginia. This would be a writing about a portion of Virginia which drew particular attention in the colonial period. And here is the Appomattox River, and the South Side Virginia covered these counties, not all the way over here, but these counties would be South Side Virginia. And you have a great number of very prominent families who would be covered in South Side Virginia history. But our Upchurches moved on to Brunswick County, Virginia. And in fact, about 1750, which would be over 100 years after Michael settled in Surry, you had a very large number of Upchurches located in Brunswick County, Virginia. I would like to, at some point, return to this subject and tell you what we know about the Upchurches in Brunswick County, because along about 1750, or maybe you might say from 1730 to 1780, this was a hotbed of Upchurches, and your ancestor would have been there at some point in time. So we shall return to that in due course and give more information about the Upchurches who lived in Brunswick County, Virginia. From time to time, one might want to think about the streams that they had to cross. Here's the Nottoway River that goes this way that they had to cross. The Nottoway goes this way. Here's another river coming here, and another one. They generally flowed to the east and to the south. If you go just south of Brunswick County, Virginia, you have to cross the Roanoke River. We know little about the challenges that those people faced as they crossed the river, whether or not they had ferries or whether or not there were low places in the river when the river was down and low that they could cross and move on ahead. We have quite a few wills and deeds dating to the period of the 1700s for Brunswick County. The other thing we can say about this movement of Upchurches is that by 1790, when the first federal census was taken, all of the Upchurches had moved out of Brunswick County, Virginia, or other counties where they lived into North Carolina. So in 1790, all 11 known heads of household that were found on the census were found in North Carolina. Now, it is my conviction that probably some of the females who were living, Upchurches who were living in this area during the period, say 1730 to 1780, that 50-year period, they married, and I'll just bet you that some of them stayed there, and maybe their descendants are there today. We need someone in the Upchurch family to go back and dig into these records and see just what they can find, particularly of these people who were descendants of the females. We know that one female or two females married into the Mosley family, and another one, two others married into another family. I have to think what the name of that family was. The Bathshears. I did come up with it. It's spelled many different ways. But I suspect there were Bathshears descendants and Mosley descendants that were left here in this general area as of the time that the male Upchurches had all moved into to North Carolina. This is a rich area for history of Upchurches, and it has not been covered very thoroughly. People need to go back and dig into this, find more records, more wills, more deeds, find out where the land was at different places they lived, and see if they can bring more to life about the Upchurch family in this colonial period and as they moved from Surry County to Brunswick County. You'll note on Surry County we do have several features here. There's Bacon's Castle, and there's a very special feature of Bacon's Castle because that's where an insurrection took place. And our ancestor, Michael Upchurch, was a member of the team who objected to taxes being imposed at that time. So our ancestor, Michael, participated in one of the early tax rebellions, sort of like the Boston Tea Party. So I hope this little chat about the Upchurches moving south and west in Virginia will resonate with you, and that at some point some of you will go back and find out more information for us and add it to our story about the Upchurch movement in Virginia. Thank you for your attention.